Welcome God of War fans, my name is Shayne Static, and today we're going to be going over the Valkyries that we see in the God of War Ragnarok story trailer, their potential fighting styles, and what is happening in this scene right here.
Sure about that?
Pretender God! For the old father!
Death can have me when it earns me.
But before we begin, please make your own destinies and hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know it seems like a very small and minuscule thing, but it really does mean more than all 9 realms. Not only does it mean more than the 9 realms to me, it helps push the video out to awesome God of War fans just like yourselves, and just like Mr. GM right here. Mr. GM at this time is my only channel member, and dude, thank you so much for your time and for your support over these many years that you've been a subscriber to the channel. And we got spare time, go check out Mr. GM on Twitter. He's a big God of War fan and a really cool dude. Now, on to the video. So, a few weeks ago, we were gifted the God of War Ragnarok State of Play story trailer, which was absolutely amazing and loaded with a ton of hints and clues to what waits for us when God of War Ragnarok finally graces us with its presence. But today we are looking at these amazing enemies that we see right here. Now, I don't know about you, but the Valkyrie fights in God of War 2018 was absolutely my favorite part of the game, and I am really excited to see that they are making a return to God of War Ragnarok. But honestly, it's really not surprising to me to see more Valkyries that we have not seen before. But who are these Valkyries and what is exactly happening in this scene? So to go a little further into this, for all of you that do not know, what exactly is a Valkyrie? The Valkyries in Norse mythology are a group of female warriors who are in service of Odin to choose the worthy slain warriors in battle and bring them to either Valhalla, the more well-known hall dedicated to Odin, or Folkvang, the lesser known realm of meadows that is dedicated to the goddess Freya. Now there is a little contradiction where Freya, kind of like God of War, is the leader of the Valkyries and not Odin because of the mentioning of Folkvang. Now the Valkyries are mostly known to be able to fly over the battlefields due to their duties, but it is also said that they would ride horses through the battlefield as well. Now, when they are not doing their duties, the Valkyries are free to roam Midgard, but they must be in disguise of a swan, because if they are seen without their disguise, Odin will strip away their wings and turn them human. If a Valkyrie is seen before a battle washing the armor of a warrior, that warrior will not survive the battle. The Valkyries also even have some special powers. I do not know if it pertains to all of them, but at least some can cause the death of warriors they actually just don't like, or even protect the ones in battle or at sea that they do. The funny thing is, in Norse mythology, they are sent to watch over the battles in numbers related to 3, such as 3, 6, 9, and so on. Now, I don't know about you, but the so on intrigues me the most. Because in Norse mythology, there are way more than just 9 Valkyries that we see in God of War 2018. Now, the exact number of Valkyries is debatable because of the limited sources that we are left from history. Some sources say 13, others say somewhere in the 20s, others say somewhere in the 30s, so who really knows? Especially since a lot of the names of the Valkyries that we do have records of can be interchangeable, or could be the same Valkyrie altogether. For example, Geirjafol, the Master of Arms for Odin's army in Valhalla, within the God of War universe at least, compared to the Valkyries called, well, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce them, I'll put them on the screen right here. When comparing all of these names together, the first part of all of their names can be translated to mean spear, so it is possible that they can be the same Valkyrie altogether, or even several that have similar names. Okay, so let's transition to God of War, which is pretty much why you're watching this video. But the funny thing is about everything that's stated before is that Sony Santa Monica kept the majority of the information from Norse mythology and implemented it into God of War. So there are not many differences between the two. But the huge one that sticks out like a sore thumb is that Odin trapped 9 of them in physical form and they all went mad. and they had to be locked away by their queen, at least at the time, Sigrun, so it did not cause too much damage. But besides that, pretty much everything else is pretty similar. But through all of Odin's deeds that kind of leaves a sour taste in all of our mouths, it still seems that we have at least a couple of Valkyries that are still very loyal to him and still have the ambition to carry out his will. And honestly, there are probably a few more that we still have not yet seen and waiting for us when God of War Ragnarok finally comes out. But do these two Valkyries that we see in the God of War Ragnarok story trailer seem a little different than the ones that we see in God of War 2018? Yeah, I think so too. If we look very closely at the Valkyrie that Kratos is giving a slight facial reconstruction to, sorry I couldn't hold back on that one, and the one who tries to throw Kratos into the void around them, do they look a little like a dark elf to you? Seriously, take a look at the Valkyries, and here is a picture of a couple of dark elves. To me, they look really similar, and I love this idea, because it shows that a Valkyrie does not have to be human in the God of War universe, but can be from many different races from across the realms. But who are these Valkyries that we see in this trailer? Well, if you had your closed captions on during the trailer, the names of the Valkyries are given as Mist and Hrist. Yes, both of these Valkyries are named in mythology, but it is kind of a small mention. They are both mentioned in the Poetic Edda in the poem called Rimnismal. When translated to English, this poem pretty much says only a couple of things that states Hrist and Mist by name. One part says that Hrist and Mist both bring ale to Odin in the shape of a horn and bring the Einherjar, or the warriors in Valhalla, beer. Okay, fair enough, but it also says that Odin sends Hrist and Mist into the fields of battle to choose the worthy slain from that battle, and also give the victory to whom they choose, which is kind of a big deal if they're choosing the victors of each battle that they oversee. But honestly, that is really all I could find about these two Valkyries, except they are often accompanied by the Norn Skald. Which, more on her in a little bit, and probably a whole nother theory down the road for a completely nother day. So, what about fighting styles? And how the hell would I know that? So just going off their names, we can actually theorize on some special abilities that they may have, like the 9 Valkyries that we see in God of War 2018. Just for a quick example, Geirjaful, the Valkyrie who is the Master at Arms in Valhalla, kind of like stated before, name can be translated to Spear Thrower, and in God of War 2018, she does have many different long-range attacks. So we may be able to slightly predict Hrist and Mist's fighting abilities. So, let's take a quick look. So first, let's take a look at Hrist. So Hrist's name can be roughly translated to Quake/Shake, or the Quaking One. So my thoughts on this is that she may have something to do with earthquakes or something kind of like that. Maybe has some type of ability to send waves through the earth, maybe for a blockable or even an unblockable attack. Maybe even fly up really high, kind of like we see in God of War 2018 right before they stomp their stilettos into our face.
Oh, no! Get off my face!
To maybe hit the ground and maybe make those quakes. I honestly think this sounds pretty cool and would love to see something like this in God of War Ragnarok, but tell me what you think. Okay, so next we have Mist, and Mist's name can be roughly translated to cloud or, yeah, I bet you guessed it, mist. So I honestly think Sony Santa Monica could give Mist some really cool abilities just going off her name. Maybe being able to cover the field with mist, go figure, and have to fight her through that. Honestly, that would be one hell of a fight. Maybe do it something like the Magni and Modi fight, only we can move and actually kind of fight back instead of hide behind a shield for a minute. That'd be good. And another thought, maybe we could use the Blades of Chaos to kind of cut through that mist, or maybe something like that. Just a couple of thoughts, but Sony Santa Monica could turn Hrist and Mist into very awesome Valkyrie fights. But what I really want to look at is what is going on in this scene where Atreus and Kratos take on these Valkyries. Now, as many other God of War content creators have stated, and I completely agree with, is that this place is the void between the realms where the world was created, called this right here, because I am not screwing that one up. Now this makes complete sense, and look at the place on the Jotnar map that we see in the Jotnar edition box. Now comparing the scenery that we see in the trailer and comparing it to the map, they do look pretty much exactly the same to me. Now why are we going here? I am not exactly sure at this time, but I have a theory of what's going to happen while we are here, and kind of a similar trend that keeps happening throughout God of War 2018. So here's my theory. Kratos and Atreus are going through the void of this place that I'm not going to try to pronounce to get to another realm. Which realm, I'm not exactly sure, once again, because we can only speculate. But if I had to take a stab at it, I would say probably Asgard, because the Valkyries showing up to stop us kind of leaves me speculating a little bit. Either way, these Valkyries come to meet us in typical Valkyrie fashion, by trying to put an end to our journey by smashing our faces in, or throwing Kratos into the void, but either way kind of works, I guess. But there is a theme here that we have seen many times, and if you are like me, I didn't catch it like probably the 100 of times or so that I played through God of War 2018. The funny thing here is that it seems the Valkyries are trying to get rid of Kratos and focus on Atreus. We have seen this many times, such as when Baldur kidnaps Atreus and tries to get away on his dragon, and from Modi, as well when he jumps Kratos and Atreus in Tyr's temple, stating that Atreus will be his quote-unquote new brother. I think that the Valkyries are doing something very similar. Now while Kratos is climbing back up the side of the cliff, you can see Hrist and Mist beating up Atreus. Now I don't know about you, but that one didn't sit well with me. Not my boy. I believe they are wearing down Atreus by tenderizing him with their fists. This will make Atreus much easier to take with them and give them a lot less trouble as they depart. But where are they going, and why do the Aesir and the Valkyries want Atreus so badly? Well, just like Mimir tells us, pertaining to Baldur at least, if Baldur wants them, then Odin wants them. I believe the main reason that everyone wants to take Atreus with them is because Odin wants Atreus. What Odin wants with Atreus is still a mystery, but I think he wants to bring Atreus on the side of the Aesir by explaining Kratos' past to Atreus to warp his mind and become his blood brother just like he did in mythology. By bringing Atreus to the side of the Aesir, Odin may stop or even delay Ragnarok even a little bit longer, because in myth and in prophecy, Loki, aka Atreus, is supposed to lead an army of the dead of Helheim to the gates of Asgard. And if Odin controls Atreus, who once again is Loki by the way, he may be able to stop his inevitable doom. Thank you all for watching to the end of this video. Your support really does mean the world to me, and I honestly can't thank you enough for every single second that you guys watch of my videos, every like that you give me, every comment that you guys post, and every time you hit that subscribe button. Honestly, it really doesn't seem like a lot, but everything you guys do for me really does matter. And thank you all once again. My name is Shayne Static. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Take care.